You've probably seen a lot of talk on social media about how to help your local restaurants and bars during this time. In my experience, a lot of that advice has been about buying takeout or gift cards to help keep these businesses afloat. But I recently learned that there's a lot more we can do to help the hospitality industry, and that means fighting for some major policy changes. The federal government has taken steps in recent weeks to help small businesses. In late March, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act, was passed. This included the Paycheck Protection Program, which was intended to give small businesses resources for maintaining their payroll, hiring back employees, and keeping up with operating costs. But many small business owners say the way the Paycheck Protection Program currently stands is a nightmare.
It's really at a breaking point, a major breaking point. The PPP makes little to no impact on the businesses that are hardest hit by COVID.
Many restaurant owners have joined forces to advocate for improvements to the PPP. The owners of Olmsted in Brooklyn started the New York Hospitality Coalition to do just that.
Every single day that this doesn't get better, it's going to get way worse. More and more restaurants of all shapes and sizes, closing quickly.
The PPP gives forgivable loans to small businesses, but as of April 15th, it was already out of funds. Here are the other major problems with the PPP, according to the New York Hospitality Coalition. 75% of the loans given to businesses have to be used for payroll, but the businesses who need the program the most have no use for payroll forgiveness because they are closed and have laid off their staffs. The other 25% of the loans can be used for rent, utility, and other overhead costs, but not paying bills to the restaurant supply chain and vendors. So many restaurants and other businesses are way behind on these bills due to lack of revenue the last couple of months. The loans are only forgivable if the money is used within 8 weeks from when the loan starts, but most businesses will still be closed for that 8 weeks.
Business owners are going to basically have to choose between saddling themselves with a lifetime worth of debt in a business environment that's completely unpredictable, or permanently closing. And we're going to see thousands of closures, and it will go against exactly what the Paycheck Protection Program was intended to do.
The New York Hospitality Coalition is calling for the following fixes: changing the 8-week period to starting the first day that restaurants and other businesses can legally and fully reopen, increasing the maximum loan amount and extending the forgiveness period to 3 months, and increasing the terms of the PPP loan to 10 years to give businesses more time to pay it back.
If they're left to fail, it's going to be really a tragedy.
Many advocacy groups are also calling for a federal stabilization fund for the hard-hit hospitality industry. Now, what can you do to help make sure these changes are made?
If you're part of the general public, talk about the PPP.
Talk about it, help others get educated, and put pressure on your local representatives.
If you want your restaurant that you go to once a week that's around the corner from your house to reopen, you want the PPP to be fixed. And I promise you that if it doesn't, and there's no stabilization fund that comes behind, there's a 50 to 75% chance that your favorite restaurant doesn't reopen.
The more people who get involved and make their voices heard, the better.